Hello and welcome to our channel from sunny Portugal. We've been living off-grid here in Portugal for the past 5 to 6 years, and one of the very first things that I needed to do was set up a solar system. Now, I'm no electrician, and to be honest, I was quite intimidated when I first decided to try and do it myself, but I got through it. When we were here at that point in time in Portugal, there weren't many suppliers of kits. It was more like buying everything and they install it for you from the companies here, and it was really expensive. And after a lot of research, I figured out how to do it. That direction is true south, but unfortunately we couldn't afford a massive system or lithium batteries, so I ended up getting 4 AGM sealed batteries. But always in the back of my mind, I was worried when these batteries eventually die, which with AGM sealed batteries, it's normally between 6 and 10 years. Are we going to be able to afford to replace them? Luckily, nowadays, lithium batteries have gone down, and I'll be updating our solar system in this episode. Apart from the solar system itself, I think I also need to upgrade this poor excuse of a door. Don't be too hard on me, guys. This was the first door I built. I obviously forgot to put a diagonal, and pretty immediately everything just went lopsided. I do have a couple of steel doors which might fit that door, we'll see, so maybe we'll do that too. So I'll quickly show you our solar setup over here, which I installed 5 years ago. There's our 3K inverter, charge controller, and there's the fuses coming from the solar panels and the fuse to the battery bank over there. And these are 4 12-volt AGM sealed batteries. I believe they're, well, let's see, 200 amp hour, see if you can see that, 200 amp hour batteries, 12 volt, so they're connected in series and in parallel, so that gives us a 24 volt system with 400 amp hours. And there's our 6 325 watt solar panels. Now, this system has served us really well over the past 5 years. We really haven't had any problems with it, but it is coming to the time where they need to be replaced. Their lifespan is normally, I think, 6 to 10 years, so I was expecting it to start not charging to 100% within the next year. So I started researching prices of lithium iron phosphate batteries, because they are the best type of battery that you can get. The advantages of lithium iron phosphate batteries are well known. They are considered even better than lithium iron just because they're safer, they have an increased power output, faster charging, reduced weight, and longer lifetime. So lithium iron phosphate were definitely the ones we wanted to get. We just had to see if they were affordable now, because 5 years ago they definitely weren't. And what do you know, out of the blue, this company that produces lithium iron phosphate batteries contacted us to review one of their batteries. Look what I just picked up from the post! Thank you, Power Queen! And 2. Wow, they're so much lighter than ordinary batteries. I'm so excited. Lithium iron phosphate batteries. Luxury! Right. So they're supposed to have sent us 2 24 volt 100 amp hour batteries. So let's see what's in the box. Okay, these are the post bolts, so you can connect your cables to the battery. The delivery time was literally 3 days, so that was pretty good from when they sent them. Okay, you've got your manual and some stickers over here. We'll go through that soon. And here is the battery, the Power Queen 25.6 volt 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate deep cycle battery. Let's pull it out. It's just so much lighter than an ordinary lead battery, for what it is. Now let's see some of the specs of this battery. Okay, so straight up, it's much lighter than normally lead batteries. It's around 19 to 20 kilos, and the dimensions are 53 by 21 by 20 centimeters. And the housing is all made out of ABS plastic, which is fire retardant, and it's completely sealed. So it is IP65 rated, so you can leave them outside in the rain, which is awesome, especially if you're using it on a boat. So this has a really good BMS, which is a battery management system. And what a battery management system is, control all the temperatures and open and closes valves, so it can maintain the temperature of the battery within like a narrow specification. So it ensures optimal battery performance. Now it has low temperature protection, automatic charging at 0 degrees Celsius, automatic recharging at 5 degrees Celsius, and automatic discharging at -20 degrees Celsius. So inside you have high quality Class A battery cells with a 5-year guarantee. So that will give you about 4,000 to 15,000 cycles with a service life of 10 years, and it brings it down to 80%. So you can hook up 4 in parallel and then in series, so 8 batteries, and that will give you a total of 20 kilowatt hours. If you have, that's the maximum you can have with this type of battery. Now, if you want an expert opinion on the quality of all the parts of this battery, I really recommend going to Tech Hobo. I go to him with anything to do with solar because he knows his stuff, and I'll put a link to a video in the description below where he pretty much cuts it open and inspects what's inside. In that video he does tell you what good quality parts they used, and it's built really well. And you do have to be careful when you're buying some of these batteries, because there's a lot of companies out there that just use reconditioned parts and battery cells. But even though they are much cheaper than they used to be, you do want to get something which is good quality and will last. So let's go through the manual and then we'll switch over my old batteries with these beauties. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what they put in here. We have a manual in German, put that aside, and the manual in English, awesome. Quick start guide, I think, do's and don'ts, connecting precautions in English and in German, and stickers. Ooh, nice. Some pretty cool stickers there. Little things, please, little minds. Okay, so the manual gives you all the settings I need to put into the inverter, which is handy. You don't need a lithium iron phosphate specific inverter charge controller. As long as you have the user defined setting, you can just set like when it cuts out charging, so it avoids overcharging, when to cut out before it's completely depleted, when to start again. So there's all the information in here, so I'll do that after I put them in. But first things first, let's pull out the old batteries. Now we are going to keep our old batteries because they're still working fine, even though they don't have a long lifespan left. But I do plan to use them. They're 12 volts. So I do plan to use them on some 12-volt water pumps in the future once we get some ponds in and need to move water from one place to the other. So I'm planning to use those batteries with just a charge control and a solar panel and a 12-volt water pump, and then have them where I need them. So for now we'll just store them somewhere away and just make sure that we charge them every 6 months or so, just to keep them maintained. Well, let's get in there and pull out the old ones. Okay, so first thing, solar panels off, inverter off, output off. Okay, let's disconnect these batteries. So that's the ones going into the inverter disconnected. Do the rest. Okay, that's the batteries disconnected. Let's get them out of here. Out with the old, in with the new. I think first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this door because it really bugs me hitting my back. Okay, bye bye door. If you can even call it a door. I wonder what's living in between these batteries, eh? I know I had a couple of resident geckos in here. Man, these are heavy. Sir, can you help me? Yeah. I need some help. Yeah, I need your help because they're just so heavy, these. I can't do it on my own. The other one.
The other one.
That's it.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Yeah.
You okay? Let's put them in there in storage. That's crazy, eh? Like they're at least half the weight. They must be 40 kilos, those.
Oh my goodness.
Lift this one up and see the difference.
Yeah,
at least half, eh?
I can lift it up by myself.
That's great.
That's what I can lift it up with you.
Let's grab the other three. So what's really good is when you convert from AGM or lead batteries is just the weight and the size of them for the amount of power you can actually get out of them. Like those AGM sealed ones, they're 200 amp hour, what did I say, 12 volt, but they're in series and in parallel. So I have 400 amp hours at 24 volts, which gives you what, 9,600 watt hours. But with lead batteries and AGM sealed ones, you can only take, they say 80%, to leave 80% is better, but you can go down to 50. So in reality, if you go down to 50, you've got 5 kilowatt hours really, 4.8 or whatever it is. Now these, they're half the weight and half the size, because these are 24 volt, 100 amp hour, so I have two, which makes 200 times 25, so that's 5 kilowatts, but you can pretty much bring them down to very close to 0%. So I've got the same amount of power on hand, but half the size, and especially if you're on an RV or in a boat or something, this might really make a difference, at least half the weight. So let's get the bolts, hook them up in parallel and get them connected. 1, 2. So they give you 4 of them for each battery. I only need 2. Cool. Too easy. Love it. So they're the same size, so at least I don't have to change all the insulation around it. And hopefully, once I can afford it, I'd like to get another 2, so I'll have a bit more power. Look how nicely they fit. To connect them in parallel, or even if you were doing it in series, just so the voltage will be the same and they run better, it's better to charge one fully. I've got 2. In this case, I'm going to charge one fully, then charge the other one fully, and then put them together, connect them in parallel, but not to the inverter, and then charge, leave them like that for 12 to 24 hours in parallel, and then they're ready for connection. This is just to ensure that the battery performs at its best, and so they're equal. Even though you've got the equalization through the inverter and everything, just so they're at the same, they perform at their best, and they're at the same voltage, they recommend that every 6 months you do this again. So you separate them, charge them individually, just so you get the best out of your batteries. So I'm just going to hook one up, change the settings on my inverter, and yeah, charge one and then the next. Got one of them hooked up. I did find this manual for the inverter, but it's written in tiny print, so I definitely need my old man glasses. Right, hit enter for 3 seconds. Okay, and now we go to battery type number 5. 5. 5 is on AGM. So now we change that to user defined. AGM flooded, user, enter. Okay, so now I have to go 26, 27 and 29. Number 26. So the bulk charging voltage needs to be 29.2. Let me just check the manual to check the bulk charging voltage. Settings are all in here. So charge bulk voltage 28.8. So we'll do that. Enter. And we'll do it up to 28.8. 6, 6, 7, 28.8. Enter. Done. Floating charge. $27, so that's good. And now 29, it says low DC cutoff voltage. So when to cut off the battery when you used all the power, and it says to do it 21.6, right? Low voltage disconnect 21.6. So 27, it's going to 29, right? 29, enter, 21.6. Enter. Okay, that's all the settings from the inverter side. So now I'm going to turn on the panels so we can start charging the one battery. Battery's at 26.1 volts. Now it's charging. How much solar do we have coming in? Nice. 700 watts coming in. So we'll wait to charge this one fully and then do the other one. Okay, so it's only been a couple of hours and they're it's fully charged, the one battery I hooked up. And I can tell that from this being solid green, the charge button. And yeah, 26.8 volts. So now I'll turn it off and charge the other one. Okay, that's that one connected. Inverter on. Solar panels on. And we'll leave that to charge up. Okay, that didn't take long. I think they were more than 30 to 50% charged because it didn't take long at all. Now I'm just going to hook them up in parallel, but not to the charge controller. That can go off. This can go off. Plus to plus, minus to minus. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for 12 to 18 hours, it says in the manual, so I'll do that. Always follow the manual, guys. And yeah, and now I think we are going to go and see some new friends we met.
So you're going to make prunes?
I was gonna, yeah. I've never seen beans that big.
Oh, I know what we've got for the kids. You have lots of calendula, yeah?
No.
No? Can I give you?
Awesome.
I'll give you some of my soil, but that's a weed.
This morning when I left home, I was very happy with my garden, and then I came here to Mairead's house, and things changed.
Great ground cover.
Awesome.
And brilliant for pollinators.
This couple who have a YouTube channel, Nearby Veggies, Mairead and Dan, we went to visit them for the first time. They are doing up their ruin, but their garden is something else. You know, they both know what they're doing. They both have green fingers. That's the only time in Portugal I've gotten garden envy. I left from here thinking, our garden is beautiful, and then I was like, I just couldn't stop looking around. And when we got back again that night, I just dreamt about their garden, just walking around in it like it was a scene from Secret Garden. It's just, yeah, I was blown away by it. It looks so good. It's just like, it looks like unplanned, but planned. They know a lot about what to plant where. They leave the weeds so it looks really natural. Or their veggies are something else. Like they've got kale, the leaves are this huge. It just looks like a magic garden. I just loved walking through it. And we didn't leave empty-handed. We had a car full of things. They gave us cuttings from their shrubs and seeds. And we also left with a bucket of plums for the pigs and also a crate of plums for us so Luke can dry them and make prunes. So it was such a nice day. They're lovely people, and Mairead has the best collection of succulents. She's been propagating for the last 2 years since she's been here. And she has such an amazing collection, and we left with succulents too.
Okay, it's been 24 hours pretty much. How cool their garden was, eh? It was really nice meeting them, and we really, in the short time we were there, we really learnt a lot. So hopefully our gardening will get better. Now this thing, it's been like that for nearly 24 hours, so they should be pretty equalized. So now I can hook them up. So we got to here yesterday, connect all the batteries in parallel and leave them together for 12 to 24 hours. They're now ready for connection. And then, step 4, it says, it is not recommended to use one terminal as a total positive or negative output input of the battery system, as the connected terminals may heat up or even melt if the total output input current of the battery system is too high. Oh, I see. So it's saying not to have more than one connection on any of the batteries. So my old system, I had the 4 batteries connected in series in parallel, and then I took a positive on one end and negative from one of the other sides and ran those into the inverter. Now it's telling you not to do that because they might overheat the terminals, but I think it's more when there's a higher current. These are only 200 amp hours together, so really I probably don't need to. If I had 8 of them, if I had 4 and 4 in series and in parallel, the current would be much higher, so I would understand that. But I've decided to put in a couple of bars anyway, so I have a positive and a negative, and I'm going to hook them up, and like that I'll be ready for another battery or 2 in the future. Okay, I have both my positives and my negatives connected to the bars. Now I can connect it to the inverter. Okay, that's all good. Now the negative. Let's cover these up. Okay, cover's on, everything's connected, we can turn it on. Panels on. Inverter on. Output power on. Okay, so there you have it, all hooked up and working well. That wasn't hard at all, and now we are lithium iron phosphate powered. Yay! So I did put the insulation kind of back up, though I don't think I need it, because the lowest it goes is -5, and inside this room is already enough to change that, but I had it from the old batteries, so I just put it up against it. So that's to the positives and negatives to the bar there, then it goes through a fuse, and then there's the inverter. So all good. So if you want to upgrade your system, maybe you have lead or sealed AGM gel batteries like I did, and it's about time you upgraded. This brand is a really good brand. It's Tech Hobo approved, so that's always a good thing. I just love the fact that he actually opened it up, and and with all his experience he can tell you that it's using good parts and well put together, because when it comes to ordering these things from China, sometimes you can't be too sure. But at least I know there's a guarantee, Tech Hobo guarantee, that these are the real deal. And at the moment they're around 400 euros each, but on the I think on the 3rd of July they have this big sale on, so make sure you check out their link. We'll put it in the description below, and get yourself some lithium iron phosphate batteries. Thanks again to Power Queen for sending us these batteries. We love them. And now I need to put a door on this building. Not for security really, more for rain, wind and cold. So let's see those metal doors. I thought so. Too big, and it opens inwards, so it's no good. I'll have to see if I have a wooden one.
Bye, love.
Too easy. Simples. Alrighty, that's it for me this week. New, in inverted commas, door, but awesome new batteries. Yeah!